Okay, and this is going to be the start of our first tutorial video for Switchblade. There aren't many out there, which makes things interesting to say the least. But today we'll be going through the basics of what to do, what not to do, and just to get you a general gist of into the game and being able to play without getting absolutely smashed by bots. So as you can see, different categories: scout, fighter, tank, artillery, so on and so forth. Each have their own advantages. Scouts are very weak defensively and health wise, so they're good for getting around the map due to their high speed, and they obviously have more intricate abilities which will give you havoc on the battlefield kind of thing. Like with Mob Buddy, you have Mimic, which basically makes you appear on the other person's screen as a teammate for a certain amount of time. Obviously, as you can imagine, that's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt to deal with. As for Goofer, Goofer's ultimate is Goo, and you'll find that he will spread goo everywhere on the field just to either prevent vision, because you can't shoot through it, or to keep you stuck in there to prevent you from getting away or getting to someone or something. So it can be used both aggressively and defensively. So for this tutorial I'm going to take Flaming Blade, probably arguably the best fighter, due to its slight advantage over Kamikaze in speed on its speed boost. It's a nice starter because it allows you to be aggressive without losing too much on the health side, because fighters do have, as you can see, a slight advantage in health, although they're a little bit slower than the scouts. For the second vehicle, I'm going to take Safeguard just because it's one of my favourites. Now the tanks, obviously, as you can see, compared to the fighters, the health is a lot more, whereas the speed is a bit slower again. So yeah, let's get this loaded in.
Thought she was grand, fell in love, found out firsthand, went well for a week or two, then it all came unglued in a trap.
Now I've got to change this song. I don't think that this is going to be a highly appropriate song. Okay. So when you first start, you can press V to open your shop, where you can buy the enhancements. You have health, shield, crit, damage enhance, secondary weapon cooldown, and speed enhancer. As a staple, I usually go for the extra health at the start because, especially on fighters, it's very handy. Now, in order to be able to upgrade your abilities, which I kind of did by force of habit, you have to press either 1 to upgrade your Q, 3 to upgrade your first ability, or for your second ability. Now, you cannot upgrade your Q until you've gotten to level 4. Now, you get experience from killing minions, as you can see, the little yellow signs just above the head. You get experience for naturally killing enemies, and you also have these little XP balloons here, where if you drive through them, they will allow you to, or it will give you a temporary increase in your XP, and it's global. It's not just to you particularly. It goes for the whole team. There are 6 of these balloons on the entire map, so they are quite handy to get if you can. But the key thing to remember is don't overextend for them, because you can get caught out like this. Luckily enough, I've got enough health to take advantage of that. But you don't ever want to go for a balloon if there's 2 or 3 people there. It's just not worth dying for. So as you can see, when I go through it, the balloon is now blue, and you can see the XP trickle in, which is down next to our queue. And then when it's ready to be collected again, it goes grey. So yet again, we go through it, it goes blue. Now, if it's an enemy that's gone through it, it will be red. So you can tell when the enemy's getting the XP. So it's best to try and get those XP towers as much as possible. They are a big benefit to your team. So, couldn't get in there in time because the bots have been gotten ahead of me on this one to get to this first tower, but you have to get 4 minions into the tower to get the shield down. Now, in order to expose the core, like I say, you have to... oh, there we go. Killed by the bot. This is, while I'm here, I think I will collect the damage enhancer. 10% damage and healing output. Pardon me. So that area I was just in is basically a temporary lobby, but you can look down. It's kind of in the sky, but you can look down onto the map and see what is actually going on at the time. You know, everybody fighting and all that kind of thing. That's it really. It's basically a place to stand at the moment. I'm sure there'll be other features coming in later in time. It'll make it a bit more entertaining. Oh dear, this is going to hurt. That is my ultimate on Flaming Blade. As you can see, if you stay very close to them, it absolutely destroys them. Now, as you can see, that turret there that I have destroyed. Now, before, it wouldn't get destroyed, it would just go down temporarily, but because that front tower over here has been destroyed, this tower here is no longer protected. So when you destroy it, it gets destroyed permanently. Whereas, for example, say this turret here, because the tower behind it is still active, when its health goes to 0, it only gets disabled, it doesn't get destroyed. So that's something to bear in mind, because they do regen quite quick, so you may find yourself getting caught out, and I've done that quite a few times in all honesty. So yes, next step, you have the store here in the centre. Now, like at the home base, if you're in the middle of a match and you find yourself with enough money, you can buy your upgrades or your consumables. For the sake of this tutorial, I'll just focus on the general upgrades. Consumables I'll go in a little bit detail again another time. So the next one, I think I'll go for the increased defense. It regenerates the extra 3 shield per second. Now, as you can see on the map, the right lane's being pushed, so I'm going to go and defend that. Dogbot is yet again being a pain in my bum. Oh no, 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 I am friend not food, leave me alone. Feed. Okay. So that's Dogbot out of the way. Now back, kill minions. Oh, wow, okay. That person disappeared. Ah. Let's kill this person. Hi Marvin. Oh, left lane's being pushed. Oh no, the tower! Oh, ouch. Crashed. Oh no, crashed. Uh-oh. Oh, I didn't do very well on that. Okay, Fembot seems to have dropped her ultimate, which is a singularity. Now, if that's a red one, you will find that you are going to get stuck in it, and you are not going to be able to move for normal money, because that thing will keep you stuck there. There's only a handful of vehicles that can get out of it, mainly Kamikaze and Flame and Blade, because they have their speed boost. If they didn't have that, they would have no hope in hell of getting out of it. So again, pick up the XP balloon, which, as you can see next to our Q timer, that it's going up very slowly. Naturally, the lower the level, the quicker it increases. So yeah, let's get rid of this turret. Now, next step, the minions. What you do is you go ahead, dive the tower, get the tower's focus on you, and as you could see, you saw the pips on the tower decrease, which means that we have successful hits on the tower. Oh dear, I made a mistake, don't go there. So what the idea is, in order to get rid of that shield, I need to get those pips down to 0. So you can dive like I can, like that, or you can leave the minions to just go in themselves. If minions go in themselves, they have the tower one-shots the first minion. It gives the second and third minion time to hit the shield, obviously. Oh, I'm going to die here. No, I'm not. I am out. Yep, I think I'm away. So yeah, basically when you attack the... Oh, somebody has joined. Okay. Some poor person has joined this match. I don't know who you are, Dancer, or Dancer, or whatever, but I feel sorry. So as you can see, those little symbols at the top of the screen are the enemy turrets and the amount of health that is remaining. So if you have a look on the map, you can see that the mushroom turret is currently exposed because it has none of the pips around the map, whereas you look at the main base icon, which has the 4 pips outside of it. Now, it means that you have to get 4 minions to hit that tower before the core is exposed. Which is the key objective in the game, really, because for every minion that hits... Oh wow. For every minion that hits the tower, it reduces it by 1 pip, but it also gives you 1 point, which, as you can see at the top of the screen, is relevant to how many points we have. And Dogbot is out for me. Oh, I'm innocent. I'm innocent, I say. Please, have mercy. Nope, and that is why you don't drive backwards while you're trying to attack. Ugh. And luckily enough, I baited him into my tower. Haha! You are dead, friend. So yes, back to the point. Pips are points. That's the key thing to think about it. You get 4 points for reducing the core, for exposing the core, and then you get 3 points for destroying the tower. So making a total, once you get every single pip and tower out of the way, including the base, gives you a total of 28 points. Key part of the game, the team with the most points at the end of the game wins. Games last 20 minutes. So, as you can see here, we have 21 points, they have 7. So if the game was to finish right now, we would win. The other way you can finish the game early is by destroying the core before the timer runs out. Obviously, you get more XP for finishing the game sooner than if you didn't. So, you know, that's something to bear in mind. Okay, so I haven't bought anything for a while, so I'm going to increase my vehicle speed. and the secondary weapon cooldowns, those are your abilities, like the speed up on Flaming Blade and the rockets, for example. Basically your E and your R. So off we go. As you can see, this vehicle is somewhat slower than the Flaming Blade is, so it takes you a while to get around. So my advice is, if you're playing the slower, more heavy vehicles, have a more defensive playstyle, because you're not going to be zipping around the map. Always pick up the XP balloon. Now there are healers on this game, and they are, in my opinion, they're overpowered, because with a good healer and somebody that knows what they're doing, you can win any fight. So just bear it in mind, if you're playing with your friends and you've got somebody who usually likes to play a support or something like that, have them play healer, because it will help and you will win matches. Get rid of a few minions. How many do we have? 3 minions. Okay, we got 3 minions. Somebody is trying to shoot from behind. Okay, it's only one. He's just shooting for no reason because he's a bit special. Down the turret. Now, our key is to get in before. Yes, that way we take the flak and the minions don't get destroyed. Now, because there's no pips, the core is going to get exposed, which means we can attack. Now, your abilities do work on the core, so rockets, your E, for example, anything that is an aggressive ability will work on the core. The only ones that I don't believe work on the core are Kamikaze's ultimate and Flaming Blades. The others all work on the core as far as I'm aware. And that's it. You destroy the base and win the game. That's it for a basic tutorial of how to play. So if you have any more questions, feel free to speak to me in the Discord. I am the Beef Squatch, so you'll notice me in the Discord on one of the mobs. And also ask Riddy or Classy Ham, those are also well knowledgeable mods. So yeah, any more questions, feel free to ask either one of us mods or someone in the community, and I'm sure we'll help. Until next time.